Hi everyone, today we're going to be making homemade corn tortillas. Yes, I know we made them in the past, but today I want to focus on two important aspects. First of all, a well-made tortilla should be properly cooked. We don't want to burn it before it has time to cook through or dry it out. Finally, I'm going to share my tips on how to get a great puff. Remember, a well-made tortilla is not determined by the puff, but it shows you've mastered the craft. A medal we all want to wear. Additionally, I'm gonna leave a whole ton of information on cocina.com and I'll leave that link in the description area. Nelson is the camera person and also my husband. Oh, that's a big one.
This is survival skills I'm showing here.
Grab a large bowl and in here you're gonna add 3 cups of instant corn masarina. I'm just gonna give it a quick mix, why not? So I have 2 cups of warm water and add it gradually. Mix in between additions. Feel whether the masa needs more water. Obviously right now it's still pretty dry, crumbly. We need more. The masa product itself has a suggested amount, but I always go by feel because that's the best way of getting the right texture. But you can definitely use it as a guide and stop as soon as you know the masa is ready. The amount of water needed is going to depend on the temperature of the water itself and even the temperature in the room. So you really want to pay attention to how that masa is going to come together and feel. It has now formed a mass. There's no dry patches. This is now holding its structure, which is exactly what you need because you want to be able to mold it. I know that I need a couple more drops of water. You'll know you added too much water because it's going to start sticking to everything. You won't even be able to work with it. If that ever happens, just add a little bit more masa harina until the right texture and consistency is achieved. The masa has the right amount of water. Continue kneading for 3 to 5 minutes. We've got smooth masa that is not sticking to my clean hands. I'm just gonna divide it into 2-ounce balls. The size of the tortilla is gonna depend on the amount of masa you do per ball. Flatten each one into a disc. And if the edges remain smooth, you've done a wonderful job. If they crack, you need a little more water. As you're working with the masa, if you feel like it starts to dry out just a tiny bit, you can dip your fingers in a little bit of water and then just mold it, work with it. The comal is preheating. I'm just gonna keep these covered so they don't dry out. I like to place a towel under the tortilla press so it doesn't scratch the surface that I'm working on. And then you're also gonna need 2 round plastic liners. You can easily make these yourself, but if you wanna buy them online, I'll leave you a link down in the description area. Grab a disc and we're gonna give it a few more slaps, then place it in between the liners. Give it a nice press. Now you can close it and lightly press to mold the tortilla. Now you're not gonna get it completely even on the first try, so you have to rotate it and keep pressing until you get an even thickness. And I like to go really thin because a thin tortilla that puffs is a sign that you've mastered the craft. We need to avoid burning the tortilla. It needs time to cook and puff. The ideal temperature on the surface of the comal should be around 450 to 500 degrees Fahrenheit. We are at 557. I think it's a little too hot. Let's lower that heat. Remove the tortilla from the plastic liners and lay it down on a smooth backhanded sweeping motion. As soon as the edges begin to get darker in color, it's time to flip. It's only gonna take a few seconds. Now we're just waiting for the bottom to fully cook and also develop a few golden brown spots. Now this is the point where you want to avoid drying it out because sometimes we tend to not know when it's fully cooked and we just let it go on and on and on, and you don't want to do that because that tortilla is gonna start to crack. And this is ready. Flip it. We're just gonna let that bottom brown a little.
Look at that puff go.
The first tortilla is always like a trial. You're getting a feel of the temperature, the texture, but this looks pretty good to me. Remove it from the comal and it has to go into a tortilla warmer. Keep them wrapped in a kitchen towel. That way they steam and soften even more. One of my mother's biggest pet peeve is laying the tortilla and then it starts to bubble because that's gonna prevent it from puffing. We're just waiting for those edges to turn darker, and the time can vary. It really depends on the temperature of the comal, the material you're cooking them in. This is a carbon steel comal. And if you're scared of flipping by hand, you can use a spatula. No shame in that. I also want to note I pre-seasoned my comal. That's important because it's gonna prevent things from sticking.
There goes the puff.
Oh yeah. I love it. As long as there's no holes, you got the right temperature, you've seasoned your comal, you should be good to go. Oh, also the texture of that masa should be on point. But look at that. It warms my heart. We're just gonna let that bottom brown a little, just like that. And into the tortilla warmer it goes. I bet even Nelson can make them.
I sure can.
We'll see. First thing you know you did right is if that tortilla lays flat and there's no bubbling. Another thing my mom frowns upon is just slamming those tortillas on that comal. You have to be gentle. Treat them with love, care. We would slam those tortillas on purpose and oh my goodness, her face just like completely changed. But she knew we were messing with her.
Putting your mom in distress.
Yes. Time to flip, and I love being confident when I make tortillas. Because I know this is gonna happen unless it has a hole somewhere in there that I did not get to see. But overall, if you have the technique down, you're good to go. Look at that. Puffy pillow.
Gravity's gonna fly.
What I love about carbon steel is that it gives you such a wonderful golden color. This is the type of material most women make tortillas in Mexico. There's also the clay kind, but to be honest, growing up, I didn't see much of them being used. So this takes me home. Come on, Nelson. If Nelson can do it, you can do it at home. Nelson is the camera person and also my husband. All right.
Let's give it a shot. It's 500.
Good, you're good to go.
Okay, let's see if I can even peel this tortilla. Oh, I could.
Oh, that's a big one.
Boom! That's how you do it.
I'm sorry, that dropping the tortilla technique. Don't let my mother see you.
This is survival skills I'm showing here. This is not tortilla making skills. Okay, so I am grabbing a fork. I'm not gonna do it with my hands. Oh, I think that's good.
That's the smacking I was talking about. That's what my mother doesn't like.
Hey, if it cooks, it's all that matters. I think I'm gonna get a really good puff on this one.
I like it because first of all, I can see a little bit of steam coming out. So that means that the comal is nice and hot. Okay, show us.
Oh yeah, it's ready. Ta-da! Puff, puff. It puffed.
Wow.
Look at that.
Oh my goodness.
Look at that. If I can do it, so can you.
Wow, that tortilla looks pretty good.
I just burned myself.
Be careful. But wow.
It looks pretty good, I gotta say.
I see a little hole on the side, but despite of that, it puffed beautifully.
Yeah, you had mercy on me.
I had mercy on you, but look at that.
Ow.
We're gonna add a little bit of cheese, actually a ton of cheese.
Make it into a taco.
Make it into, oh, these are so soft. Yes. Extremely soft.
Look at that beauty.
Yes. This takes me home. The texture, the flavors these tortillas have. It's just the thing that I cherish because we just grew up on them.
Oh yeah. Freshly made corn tortillas. Oh my goodness.
Paired with anything.
Oh, this is our daily life.
Our daily bread. Can you believe this boy right here mastered it?
I'll stay humble.
Okay, all right. Everyone. Until the next one. Bye.